Welcome back. The African Magic Viewers Choice Awards held last night here in Lagos. The best of the African movies were celebrated and rewarded or awarded on the night. And we're going to be talking about the award ceremony itself. Were there any surprises? Were there disappointments? Were there shocks? I'm joined here in the studio by Sheila Sisi, who's a film critic and a journalist. Thanks for being here today.
Thanks for inviting me.
Yeah, so a lot of people have said that, the awards last night were one of the best they've seen, organization-wise. Do you agree with that watching on TV? I don't know if you were at the event or if you watched on TV. How did it feel compared to previous years?
I actually watch on TV, and I think I also share in the sentiment of others because I think I actually wrote a piece that was published today, and I said one of those things that has constantly been echoed is that this year's is actually great compared to last year in terms of the wins.
Yeah.
And I share that sentiment too.
Yeah.
I also share that sentiment too.
What stood out for you on the night through the award ceremony?
For me, basically, it's the wins because I think compared to other years that it was maybe voting categories, the fact that it's been some of these awards are being awarded by juries member in terms of like maybe best actors, best actress, best supporting actors. It shows that okay, we at this point in time, the AMVCA is paying attention to excellence over popularity as it was in previous years.
That's a very, very key word. But let me just quickly go to, we'll have someone joining us virtually. Akintunde Damilare is a founding partner and editor at Shock NG. Akintunde, if you can hear me, I don't know, do you agree with the sentiment shared by a lot of people, that the awards this year were a bit of an uptick from what it used to be in the past?
Yes, Ebuka. Good afternoon to everybody, and of course, congratulations to all the nominees that got awarded last year. So yes, the sentiments were quite positive in terms that we finally see merit and excellence given to the titles that absolutely put their forward best in terms of storytelling, in terms of direction, and cinematography and writing. And you could clearly see that the jury response was quite positive, especially in the hall, because I was in the hall at the hotel yesterday, and when you could clearly see some categories being announced, the hall, stood up and clapped and cheered and like, okay, yes, this was something that we were really, this was someone that we were really rooting to win for this particular category. And of course, Breath of Life, which got everybody excited when they announced Bibi Sasere as director, and of course, lead actress, supporting actress, and I beg your pardon, lead actor and supporting actress in terms of Genevieve. You could clearly see that the hall was really, really happy with the decisions that the jury made, and it wasn't no longer just about who is the most popular actress or who is the most popular actor in that particular category should be given that award to. So yes, the AMVCA has really took a big risk by appointing a jury to take over the idea of voting categories, because of course it's a viewer's choice award, right? But I don't think that viewer's choice applied this year. It's a jury's choice this time around.
Well, according to the those who know, they said, they're still voting categories. I think there's about 7 or 8 of them, just not those key ones now, because, like you said, both of you have said, it became a popularity contest for a lot of people. But you mentioned some of the sweep, basically, by Breath of Life, which most people were excited about. But there's also sort of counter arguments from a lot of people. A lot of categories were seen as very, very tough. I think, for example, with Best Supporting Actor, there was a lot of whispers about, will it be Alex Ekubo? Will it be Demola Adedoyin? Now, you work in this industry. For people who would say Demola was in this movie for 15, 20 minutes, as against an Alex, who was a supporting actor through the movie. Why would it tilt to a Demola, for example, for the viewers who might not understand, why Demola won this?
Right. So I think we should first begin starting from the eyes of the jury, right? Whenever a jury is sitting down to watch a particular title for consideration, they clearly pinpoint, okay, I'm going to pick these 2 particular scenes to really determine if this actor is really worth the mark I'm giving. So, of course, if there's a mark table of 1 to 100, right, the jury will look at those 2 particular scenes and determine, does this guy really, really determine if he's going to take this award, and my conscience will be satisfied that this was based on merit. And I think that's how Demola Adedoyin got it. If you look at the scene where there was a burning wife and child in the car, I don't think we had any powerful emotional scene maybe last year. I don't want to say for the past 5 years, but let's just say since last year. And in terms of how an actor could be so powerful on the screen and sway everybody's emotion just in under 10 seconds, and you could clearly feel that a movie has instantly become almost like a revenge sort of like so let's say a revenge arc or a revenge character where everybody's rooting for the Demola's character to really take back his revenge. But of course, you could also see how there were certain tone and motifs and themes that the actor is really interpreting in the particular scene or in the particular movie. And that is what the jury is really, really looking at, right? They are looking at what's the overall theme or what's the overall genre of this particular title, and how well was this actor interpreting this particular genre or this particular tone that that was given by the director. So again, right, to be honest, I don't think everybody was surprised when Demola won that best supporting actor, because just on that scene alone, it takes a huge amount of performer to be able to activate that type of emotions that Demola activated in just maybe less than 1 minute scene. And that takes it for the jury. And of course, they gave him probably full marks, and he got the award last night.
Come back to you, Akintoye. Let me share you now. A lot of the categories, like I said, were very tough. It was almost a sweep for Breath of Life, but there were a lot of really good movies that came out last year. People were thinking there will be, like we say in Nigeria, they would have shared the awards to different. The Black Book was a big one. Broke a lot of records, on Netflix. We had Mami Wata, which toured festivals internationally and was getting great rave reviews. A Tribe Called Judah broke all the records in the box office. Blood Vessel did amazingly well. There's a Funmilayo and Sam Kuti movie as well, so what gave Breath of Life this edge, you think? There's people who was wondering, Nigerians, we like God, he's very religious, and there was a bit of that tone to the film, right? Did that sway, or was the movie just really that solid to have beat out all of these other great movies over the past year?
It's kind of tricky because I think personally for me, yes, I share in the sentiment that, okay, these other movies are also great films in their own right, in terms of what they did, the streaming numbers, the box office returns. But I think maybe swaying to what Dami said earlier about the certain criteria used to judge some of these categories that might not be publicly available to the audience. So I believe the juries might have certain particular mark that, okay, Breath of Life ticked this box, it ticked this box, and maybe these other films did not tick the box, and maybe that's why they sway towards Breath of Life. But me personally, I was actually rooting for, especially for best movie and best directing, I was actually rooting for Sijoba Mami Waters, and even for the cinematography, obviously, because of, aside from even its Sundance win, like virtually all the awards that it has been submitted to, it's won even at FESPACO. So I actually rooting for Mami Wata, but for Funmilayo and Sam Kuti, which is not publicly available yet, and even for Over the Bridge, that is still not publicly available. It's premiered outside the country. So there's some of these films that are not publicly available that it's going to limit the way maybe the audience or somebody like me can speak to. So I think maybe that's why they tilt towards Breath of Life.
Before the awards, there was a bit of controversy, with the viewers when Chimezie Imo was not nominated for Best Actor. People could not understand it. I mean, there's also what's his name for Kuleremi. Yes, was also not nominated. But yeah, Chimezie Imo stood out for a lot of people. But then on the night, it looks like there was a big save when he won the Trailblazer Award. And that's an award most people have not really understood what it means. What does that Trailblazer mean? What have you done that makes you a Trailblazer? Do you think it was something that he deserved on the night?
actually think he deserved the award. It's not even I think, because saying thinking, it's like maybe I'm being skeptical about it. But actually, he deserved the award because for me personally, I was introduced to Chimeze Imo through MIDSO's Kasala, which also I think also introduced quite a lot of young actors. The person of even Emeka that was in Far From Home. So it was actually from that movie I got to understand who he is. So I think not nominating Chimeze Imo for best supporting actor or for lead was that it created this uproar. But I think now giving him the Trailblazer was just a way to abate the audience that okay, we'll recognize that we did not give him, okay, let's give him this. So there might be that too, but it also speaks, it's not just that, it also speaks to the fact that, okay, Chimeze Imo has done quite a number of projects in the year. I think it was in One Too Many recently, and he bodied his role also. So I think it's deserving of the award for me.
Akintunde, let me come back to you now, because one of the most popular wins, I think, on the night was best, I think, digital creator, for which Lai Wasabi won. It's one of the newer categories over the last couple of years, but it's also become one of the most popular, I guess, because, of course, social media is pretty heavy. It was quite competitive there, of course. But he was nominated twice in that category, so it was almost like he had to beat himself to win, like he said on stage. Was it a deserved one, you think? And what did you think about the other nominees in that category?
Awesome. So first off, I really want to comment that we have such a strong internet culture here in Nigeria, where almost everybody wants to become a content creator. If you have a smartphone and a ring light, just come onto the internet and say something interesting. But what makes Lai really stand out is that his type of jokes and the type of commentary that he makes is sort of like based on societal characters that you can instantly see that, oh, I know that person in the next house. Oh, I know that person on the street. And, you could see the way a lot of people connect with him just by the way he also chooses this type of what do they call it? It's like a word slayer, where of course, when he was taking an award, he was saying a multitude of choices. He just won, he just lost. You could clearly see that this is someone that is a brilliant writer and, of course, a brilliant performer who, under 2 minutes, can make you laugh. Because one of the reasons why our comedy skit making is very popular in Nigeria is because Nigeria is a very tough place to operate in. And of course, one of the joys of you is just open your phone and just go to a comedian place and just get ready to laugh and just, be happy. And that's what Lai has been able to do with his skits, right? He has been able to make millions of Nigerians happy. And when he won that award, which of course I think it was also a voting category, you could clearly see how the way the hall stood up for him and clapped and cheered. And of course, the internet, of course, started making comments and retweets and likes and engagements that, yes, Lai is the guy that makes us laugh and makes Nigeria happy for us, even though the economy is not smiling as much as it should. But I think, yes, Lai is well deserving, and hopefully the next set of digital content will be something interesting to see when AMVCA 2025 comes across. 2024, I beg your pardon.
Question to both of you, but let me start with you, Akintunde, as quickly as you can. I mean, it was a solid year for Nollywood. I looked at the nominees for Best Movie, and it was very familiar on some Kuti. Breath of Life, Over the Bridge, Blood Vessel, The Tribe Called Judah, The Black Book, Mami Water. Those are very solid films. I mean, it looks like Nollywood is on the upward trajectory. Pressure for the coming year. Are you excited for what's to come?
Yes, to be honest, we had a very great 2023. The bar was really set high. You could clearly see that there were 3 Netflix originals, 1 Prime Video original, and then, of course, 2 other titles that was a Sundance winner, and another title that is about to be released here in Nigeria. And these were very strong titles that were helmed by strong writer-directors. And 2024 is something that producers will have to look at, that we have to beat this bar. We can't, the guys in 2023 have set a very high bar for us, and we just have to make it up to it from financial standpoint, from distribution standpoint, and of course from the storytelling standpoint, because that is really important above all.
Yeah. Shay?
For me too, I'm like constantly excited about Nollywood, and I think just like what Dami said, we have the Sundance winner, we have even Breath of Life that was quote unquote might be indie, non mainstream to some extent. I think it's also an indication that we're going to be having a lot of more voices coming, a lot of new stories coming into the industry. So I'm really excited about next year and what other filmmakers will be, okay, let's start from these people for inspiration and do ahead of them. So I'm excited too.
And excited also for the performances, because now you can't win the award unless you actually deliver and the jury agrees. It's no longer a popularity contest. So everybody has to step up their game. Thank you very much, Sheila Sisi. Thank you very much, Damilare Akintunde David, for joining us.